Hello, amazing book lovers. Sarah Stout here. Let's talk today about amazing and engaging nonfiction for readers of all ages. Let's get started. So we're going to start with our littlest readers first. This series is a new series called Little Lift and Look, and this one's called Under the Sea. So there are flaps attached to the edge of the pages to help encourage the littlest readers to learn about Under the Sea. Such a fun little series. This one's called Peek Inside Bug Homes and is a new addition to our Peek Inside series. So there are books of all different themes and topics in this series. We also even have Peek Inside Fairy Tales. Each of the books has little peek through pages where you can peek through the page behind and flaps throughout as they are learning about, in this case, bug homes. This one is a new book that just came out. It's called Why Should I Brush My Teeth? Where kids are learning about the importance of dental hygiene and why we need to brush teeth. I don't know about you, but I need this book in my house. This series is a part of our very first questions and answers series. There are other books in this series for younger kids, things like what are germs, what is poop, what is the potty, and more. And then there also are Lift the Flap questions and answers for older kids as well. A step up from our Peek Inside books are these books called our Look Inside books. And inside of these books, they are flat books. This one's one of our newest in the series called Look Inside What Happens When You Eat, where kids can learn all about what happens when they eat. So learning about vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, fats, proteins, all of the things, and what happens as they digest. Of course, kids love the poop page. But about sugars and things like that. So such a great book to talk about food and the role it plays in how our body works. This is a new box set. It's called History. There are 10 books in the box set, and they are each for beginning books that have a link in each of our books that links them to a website that has safe links for kids to learn more about what is in the book. So you cannot buy these books individually. You have to buy them as the box set. But we do have books for animals, books about the world, and more that you can also buy individually or as box sets as well. If you have a preschooler, this series called Lift the Flap are so wonderful. There are things like Lift the Flap Nature, Lift the Flap Numbers, Colors, Opposites, First Word Book where they're practicing sight words, alphabet, and more. So this is one of our newest. It's called Nature, and they have activities throughout as they're talking about nature and practicing learning about each of the different topics of the book. Cannot recommend this series enough. If you are a fan of Bear Grylls, we have not only Bear Grylls fiction, but we have Bear Grylls nonfiction as well. So these are two of our newest called Epic Expeditions and Epic Climbs. So we have nonfiction activity books and then nonfiction books that they can read. We had to get this because we love climbing in our house. So as you can see, they have pictures throughout as well as text to bring the text and make the text a little more engaging and enticing, especially wonderful for kids who are maybe reluctant readers. So Epic Climbs and Epic Expeditions are our newest in those series. This one's called Dr. Maggie's Grand Tour of the Solar System, and it's written actually by Dr. Maggie, who tells all about the solar system and our place in it. So it's a wonderful storybook that is nonfiction that tells, it's illustrated where kids can learn about space and our solar system. This book I cannot recommend highly enough. We have several different fun U.S. history books, including a Shine a Light history book. But this one is a board book, but don't let that fool you. It is amazing to talk all about, for readers of all ages, about the history of the USA. So it goes through and talks about the different eras and talks about the famous people during that era, what our country looked like at each era. And then at the end, you can look back and see all of the famous people that helped to shape our country to be what it is today. So we also have Lift the Flap and See Insides for older kids. These ones are called Lift the Flap. This one's called Lift the Flap Math Shapes, where kids can learn all about math shapes. And there are flaps that they can lift and see if they're talking about cylinders, what that might look like in real life. This one's called, it's a part of our STEAM series. So there's atoms and molecules. So this is a step up from our Look Inside books, where it's talking all about atoms and molecules, where kids can learn all about what they are and how they affect our world. We have nature books, so our activity books that have to do with math or science, or in this case, nature. This one's for young children, but we also have activity books for older children too. And then the last two that I'll share are, this one is Lift the Flap, Biggest, Fastest, and Tallest, is brand new, and it tells all about the biggest, fastest, tallest things in the world. And it is a flap book as well. And then what kid doesn't love learning about construction and demolition? Very apropos in today's day and age. And they do have flaps throughout that the kids can open up and learn all about the different parts of the book.